Well, good morning. It is Monday, July 19th, and we are gathered for our morning devotion. And we begin in a new week, so a new scripture passage. And this is from John chapter 1, verses 1 through 5. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was in the beginning with God. All things came into being through him, and without him not one thing came into being. What has come into being in him was life. And life was the light to all people. And that light shines in the darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. And so today's devotion is called An Unfolding Pattern. And this is a good one. And so the author says, pay attention. 1, 6, 11, 16, 21, 26, 31. What comes next? And he goes on. 1, 4, 2, 5, 3, 6, 4, 7. What comes next? 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34. What comes next? I, space, L, O, V, E, space, Y, O. What comes next? You know the answers because you're paying attention to the pattern. It becomes more obvious the longer you live that all life is full of patterns. Reality is trying to tell us something. Life is speaking to us. There's a lot of mystery out there to be sure, and no shortage of chaos and unpredictability, but there's also lots of meaning. Message trying to find an expression, music inviting us to listen and sing, patterns attracting our attention and interpretations. The chaos becomes a backdrop for the pattern. The mystery seems to beckon us to try to understand. Sometimes the universe feels like this. 71, 6, 2, negative 48, negative 213, 9. Random numbers with no pattern. Or G, M, B, O, I, space, Q, H, Z, space, P. Random numbers with no meaning. Or I, sameness or repetition going nowhere. But above and beyond and behind that sometimes confusing randomness of life, something is going on here. From a single molecule to a strand of DNA, from a bird in flight to an ocean current to a dancing galaxy, there's a logic, a meaning, an unfolding pattern in it all. So today, notice when patterns, musical patterns, architectural patterns, visual patterns, etc., seize your attention, and think of those patterns in an artist's signature on his or her work of art. And so this one's a little more difficult because he's saying there's patterns out there in the universe. God created certain things in certain ways, and those things still exist and they still function in the same way. And there's a pattern to all of God's creation and all of God's vastness in this universe, and he's asking us to find it, to look for the pattern. It's not so much random as God had created things in order. Water, earth, light, darkness, dome in a sky versus separation. God created all of these things in an order and in a pattern, and that pattern still lives out today. So he's asking us to go out and to look for those patterns in life.